Hey, I'm Steph, and I'm obsessed with all things travel, marketing, branding, and helping you stand out from the crowd. In just under 2 years, I went from being a home-based travel agent with zero clue how to make it work in the digital world to launching an international ranking travel podcast and creating an online course to help travel agents in lead generation. Here's one thing I know for sure. There has never in the history of the world been a better time to create the travel business you've always wanted. All you need is an actionable strategy and someone to show you the way. Picture this, we're going to spend the next hour of our time together at the Swim Up Pool Bar, where over a cocktail, we deep dive into travel-related topics, mixed with a little classroom training. This show is dedicated to encouraging you to step outside of your comfort zone and into your travel business. I'll show you how I did it and how you can too. Hit subscribe now and let's get into it. If you're a travel agent wanting to onboard your perfect fit clients into your biz, download my free cheat sheet for lead generation systems you can use right now. Head to stephaniemyers.academy/cheat sheet. You're listening to Unplug in Paradise, the podcast. Hello and welcome back to Travel by Stephanie, the social podcast. You're tuning in to episode 8. I know, I can't believe I'm on episode 8 already. It feels like just yesterday I was on episode 1. So thanks for hanging in there with me and listening to these episodes as they come through. So today I thought that we would talk about something a little bit more casual. So I wanted to talk about something that happened recently. I recently had a feature taken in one of the tourism industry magazines. So this is one that's published online and it's called the Travel Talk Mag. Now I've been in travel for almost 12 years and I have never been featured in a travel magazine. So this is really exciting for me. So behind the idea of being featured, I was contacted by my MTA head office as I am within my first year of business with MTA, and they thought I would be a good recruit for their Fresh Faces program. So I had actually done this feature back in February, and it's only been in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks that I've realised that it's actually been published. I didn't get told directly by Travel Talk magazine. I actually found out via the rep for G Adventures. He emailed me and said thanks for the shout out. So yeah, I found my article online. I have been sharing it through my socials, so if you do fancy a read of it, it's actually quite humorous. So jump over to Facebook because I know I've definitely pinned it on my travel page there. So give it a look. It is guaranteed a laugh, but I will go through the questions and answers for that here. So you may not have to go over and read it, but one of the things that struck me that was unusual about this feature is the main heading. What's the strange thing new MTA consultant Stephanie Myers always takes with her on her travels? Now, I couldn't stop laughing when I read that because it makes me sound like I'm a bit of a creep. What strange things I take on holidays. Let's not go there. But they've got to get people's attention somehow. May as well go do the creepy thing. But the first question that they asked was, where is the last place you visited? My answer was my last trip I actually did was a P&O cruise from Melbourne, sailing around Tasmania and Kangaroo Island as part of my mum's holiday club that I do every year. It was a really beautiful itinerary, and the reason why I wanted to do this one is because Tasmania in itself is such a beautiful destination, And I know that Kangaroo Island is really high on a lot of people's bucket lists as well. So Kangaroo Island, if you haven't been there, you must go. It is absolutely stunning. Natural beauty, beautiful clear crystal blue waters. It's just unbelievable. So what I spoke about with my last trip is how beautiful the destinations were. And if you haven't been to either Tasmania or Kangaroo Island, please go. As I said, it's actually just a really untouched, underrated destination. So I can't wait to go back. The seafood in Tasmania is absolutely amazing. Oh. So the next question that they asked was, where are you going to next? Now, this is a question that I've been toying with a lot. So as I said, I answered these questions back in February, but now reading through this again, I have a different idea of what I want to do next. So what I answered was, I'm eyeing off a G Adventures trip through the Canadian Rockies. So this trip in particular is 2 weeks. It's a camping trip. It starts in Vancouver and goes through Vancouver Island, Victoria, and then goes across through the Rockies and ends up in Calgary. So that's one that I really, really would love to do. That's with G Adventures. And the good thing about G Adventures is that these guys are traveling with purpose. These guys, they donate money out of their earnings to local people in the town to help train them up to be more a part of your experience. So they really give back to the communities that they visit to. And I really look forward to having Cam O'Donnell on the podcast with me soon. So keep an eye out for that one. Another place I would really love to see is Lord Howe Island. Lord Howe Island is absolutely stunning. It's like a little mini Hawaii, but it's so small, so localized, and they have a barefoot policy on the island. So I would love to spend at least a week there. Another place is Club Med Tamamu in Japan, which is one of the newer ski resorts in Japan. And it's a ski in, ski out property, and there's a lot there that you can do with families. So they actually have an indoor wave pool. They have got their own skating rink. You've got ice fishing, snowshoeing. There's an ice village there that you can go around and explore over night time. They have it all lit up all beautifully. They have an ice bar as well, so all made out of ice, and lots of activities for families and children as well. So it really doesn't help that I'm so spoilt for choice when it comes to traveling and organising your next travels. It's really, really hard to try and stick to just one destination. And especially now that I've got a really good client base, I am constantly getting inspiration from my clients for when they do their own traveling. And I'm a part of that. Just doing the planning and doing all the intimate details for them really, really makes me have a little bit of travel envy as I kind of half tempted to put my name on that flight ticket as opposed to theirs. But yeah, no, it's definitely great. And you know what? The best thing about being your own boss and being a mobile travel agent is that I am not fighting other consultants for leave dates. So that is fantastic. I love that. That is just the bee's knees. So another question they asked is, besides your passport, what's one thing you would always take with you on your travels? So this is the weird thing that they were talking about in the main heading. But my one that I always take with me is highlighters. I know it sounds really weird, but when you're traveling with family and friends and you've got something to highlight on your itinerary, it's really, really handy to just pack a few different colours, and then it's relative to different things if you need to segregate it. I'm a really visual person, so it really helps me to have everything colour coordinated. Not heavily, just to an extent so there's a little bit of order. And also I've been cruising with friends and things like that before as well, and especially when you're on a ship, if you're sharing a cabin with somebody, the onboard expenses is per cabin. So say, for example, you're not a big drinker, but your friend who you're sharing with is, and there's a lot of wines and cocktails and beers and spirits and, bottles of wine at dinner on your tab that you didn't drink. You need to have a highlighter. You need to highlight that. That's not mine. That's not mine. This is mine. This is mine. This is mine. So you can add up your tallies. Just if you're conscious like me, some people don't worry about it, but I do, because when I travel, I like to make sure I've got money to spend on the things that I like doing. So I'm more of an experienced type of person. So if there's a tour or something I want to go see, I'd prefer to put my money towards that. But then again, a cocktail on the deck a few times throughout the cruise isn't a bad thing either. So yes, this question, why did I join MTA? So MTA, I was actually working for another mobile travel company before I joined MTA. But what really, really grabbed my attention was their high regard within the travel industry. I loved that they have got numerous affiliations with different brands out there that, for example, we're part owned or part affiliated with Hello World Travel. So anything that's exclusive through Hello World, me as an MTA agent can tap into those deals as well. I joined especially because I am a single mum and I have a 3-year-old son. So to offer me and my family flexible working hours, which I'm almost at my 12-month mark now, but being able to operate my own business on my terms, I've realized how much freedom it has actually given me. So I can work, when he's having a nap, when he's gone to sleep of a night time, or, I can work anywhere. I can really work anywhere. So that's the great thing about it. It's just wherever I am with my laptop, I can work. So it's also given me a lot in way of insight for how I communicate with my clients. So when you're sitting in an office, you're basically being timed, you're being watched, everything you say is being monitored. Everything that comes out of your mouth is just, either being judged or scrutinized by somebody else in the office. And that's not something I enjoy because I've been in the industry for a long time. I know what I'm speaking about. I don't doubt my knowledge at all. So that's where, when I connect with my client base, it's different now. It's actually giving me a lot more time to be really personal with my clients. And you know what? I really love learning about them, the trips that they've done before they've come across me, what destinations are their favourite, what they've done in their life before they've, retired or, I just love learning about them as people, and they actually become really close friends with me. So I keep in touch with most of my clients. Some obviously have their own private lives, etc., but there are a few that I really like to keep in contact with, and we go out for lunch, we go out for walks, and it's a social thing. It doesn't even have to be all about travel, and that's what I really love. Another one was that I can also offer my travellers a higher level of support. Now, this is something that I will cover in another podcast, but we have our very own app. So this app is called MTA Companion. So this actually gives you a lot more control over your itinerary, and it's interactive as well. So you can download this on your smartphone and you've always got your itinerary with you. But I will cover that in another episode because I really, really think it's valuable, and it is definitely a topic on its own. So I look forward to continuing to build my relationships with MTA Travel, as I've really enjoyed my time with the team so far. Our head office is full of knowledgeable people, and I'm so glad that I've got that 24/7 support network as well. Another question they've asked is, tell us something people might not know about MTA. So as I've just touched on, is that there's a lot of people in MTA head office that are so knowledgeable. So from face value, which is a website, you don't really get what is really behind the purpose of the company. But when you actually get talking to these people, the amazing skill set and years of knowledge behind the team, it's just radical. Like, I'm just so blessed to have such knowledgeable people in the team. Our product manager, actually, she used to be the head honcho in TripADeal, so she looks after our head of product. So we're very, very fortunate to have her among other leaders within the MTA head office. So yeah, I really consider myself very lucky to be a part of a talented team of people, and the relationships I've formed so far have been fantastic. So I really love being a part of a bigger, wider family, and any other MTA member that I've come across, I have just gotten on like a house on fire. So, we're all in this together, and we're all, unique in our very special ways. So yeah, it's really great to be able to all share our big passion for travel. Yes, so it is really great feeling to know that your clients are being supported, and you're being supported too. And I'm not on my own offering you the best that I can do. Another question and last one is, what's your top travel tip? This is open to interpretation. Everyone's got their best top travel tip, but here is mine. I say always be prepared. Now, I always start collecting things for my upcoming trip months in advance. That way, when it's, creeping towards the last minute, you're not trying to pack a suitcase crazily and then wondering what you've left behind because you haven't given yourself enough time to plan it all out. I know that in other countries, for example, I was in Japan a few years ago and I had a raging headache. I could not find Panadol in a chemist for the life of me. Everything's in Japanese. My sign language was horrible. And the poor Japanese chemist girl probably thought I was reenacting something I'd seen in the Australian wild somewhere. But this poor girl had no idea what I was trying to say, and I was in so much pain. So it's always best to just take more of what you think you'll need, and then you've got it on hand rather than not having it at all. So yeah, they are my little questions that I've answered for my Fresh Faces Travel Talk magazine feature. So if you want to read it further, it is available on my Facebook page. So jump over to Stephanie Myers, MTA Mobile Travel Advisor, and that will all be there for you. If you are looking for another topic of which you'd love for me to cover, please send me a DM and I will look into doing this one for you. Any ideas or anything like that, let me know. But I do have some exciting interviews coming up in the pipeline as well, so stay tuned for those. Thanks for joining me again. Your host is Stephanie Myers, and I'm signing off for now. Thank you. Bye.